Let me tell you something many high performers feel but rarely admit. You're doing well, you're being respected, you're meeting your goals, yet you're feeling oddly disconnected with yourself. You're disconnected, you're feeling flat, you're feeling empty. And it doesn't even make sense because you're succeeding so well. You feel like you're carrying so many responsibilities. People are looking at you and they're hailing you. They're dropping likes and accolades. They're sending you invite and they're writing that beginning of sentence that we see your work and now you have been able to impact so many lives. Yet, when you're in your private space, in your room, or when you are alone, you look at everything and you feel truly disconnected with everything that you're doing. And this confusion is even more troubling than emptiness itself, right? Because it doesn't make sense. And you know what this causes? Your achievement starts to crowd your reflections, right? And life becomes functional. It's always about what you do. It's not really about meaning anymore because there are KPIs, there are things that you need to meet, there are deadlines, and you're trying to meet them. You're trying to impress the people around you. You're trying to do well, and you want to make more money as well, right? And this is to say that emptiness is not ingratitude. Emptiness is not weakness. Emptiness is a sign of disconnection. So whenever you as a leader, you start to feel that sense of emptiness, it means that there is a disconnection somewhere. And it feels like you have not consulted your inner life in a while. It means that you have been producing more than you have been reflecting. You have been producing more than you have been processing. You have not processed so many things. In fact, including your successes. So when you win something, you see yourself passing it. You'll be like, oh yes, that's it. You drop it, you move on to the next. You drop it, you move on to the next. And if something comes, it doesn't move so well, you'll be like, okay, yes, we've done that. You just move on. You don't give yourself time to process all of these things. You're not processing your success. You're not processing even your failures, your mistakes. You're not processing the work that you're doing. You're not processing even the capacity that you've built over time to be able to take in more. And this is why I always say that purpose should be an anchor. Purpose should be something that you are able to trace everything back to. Because purpose is meaning. Purpose is coherence. Purpose is internal alignment, right? And it connects every of your efforts back to meaning. It restores emotional depth. And that is why you need to take understanding what your purpose is very, very seriously. It is beyond the cliche. It is beyond what everybody talks about purpose. And I said it in my video last week that many high performers, many leaders, especially CEOs or founders, it's easy for them to name the purpose and to define the purpose of the work that they are doing. But they find it very difficult to define their own personal purposes, and that is where the issue is. And that is what I'm deeply going to be exploring in my upcoming webinar on the 19th of February. And I need you to register. I'm sure the link will be on the screen right now, or it will be on my bio on Instagram, or it will be in the comments or on our description. I think the title that we're looking at is You Are Winning. Why does life feel so hard? And I know that you can relate to that, because it feels like you're winning on paper. When people look at you, when people look at your followings, they see what you're doing. You're actually winning. You're doing well for yourself. You're feeding your family. Everything is okay. But that disconnection is still there. Everything still feels kind of hard. It feels like you're struggling. And you don't want to run on the cost of the wrong rhythm. And that is why you need to be here. And why do you need to be here? Understand why success feels hollow. You need to reconnect your achievement with your meaning. You need to understand why you're doing this. You want to be able to trace it back to your overall life's purpose. And you need to be able to name that feeling that you have not been able to articulate. And I need you to be at this webinar because you're going to be able to do all of that. Because that is what is really missing. When you're able to put words on how you're feeling, the feeling of disconnect, you are able to then know the right solution to it. And that's why you need to give yourself time to process, like I mentioned earlier. Now you need to ask yourself this question: what part of my life has been productive but emotionally untouched? You need to get to understand that. And this question might look simple, but I want to encourage you to sit with it. That what part of my life do I need to sit with? What part of my life? It looks productive, but it's out of touch. I'm disconnected from it. And as a leader, that is going to bring a wholesome experience to you and even meaning to the work that you're doing. This isn't about doing less. It's about living connected again. So see you in class.